The Hungarian Grand Prix has just wrapped up with a tight race between the two McLarens, and Charles Leclerc had his car fall apart. I'm not at home, but there's still time for your Hungarian Grand Prix. Too long? Didn't race. In a refreshing change, we didn't see Lando Norris's mum at all for the Grand Prix for the first time in a few weeks, but let's talk about the start of the race. Off the start, Lando tried to take the inside line and dropped 2 places. Verstappen was much happier with the car's balance, but an early pit stop on lap 17 caused him a lot of trouble, while the rest of the midfield didn't pit until halfway through the Grand Prix. Leclerc started really well, outpacing the McLarens, getting himself a 3-second lead by lap 10. Turns out Banana Leclerc can drive anything. At least for the start of a race. The one-stop strategy was popular, but it wasn't the obvious choice. Tyre degradation in the initial 20 laps was incredibly high, but the midfield found pace when the track cooled, allowing them to extend the life of their medium tyres to the 30 and beyond lap mark. Piastri pitted on lap 19 to undercut Leclerc, and Leclerc pitted a lap later, but struggled with warming up his new hard tyres, but he was still able to maintain his track position. Verstappen got stuck behind Hamilton and got sick of it. He attempted an incredibly aggressive overtake, sending Hamilton off the track, which the stewards wanted to investigate after the race. Both drivers were summoned, but there were no further actions after the investigation. McLaren's pit crew made up for some slow times in previous Grand Prix with a 1.9 second pit stop on both Piastri and Norris. That 1.9 second puts them at the fastest pit stop for the season. Nice. Coming into the tail end of the race, both Piastri and Leclerc went for a 2-stop strategy, and that's where everything fell apart for Leclerc. Charles started losing time and over the radio was incredibly frustrated. Driving angry, he squeezed Russell onto turn 1 on 2 attempts and received a 5-second penalty for it. Piastri was flying through the track to catch Norris, and that made for an incredibly tense final 5 laps. With an almost overtake on lap 68, but Piastri locked his tyres on turn 1, and ultimately Norris took the win. Piastri got his second place, George Russell was in third, and for angry driving, Leclerc received a 5-second penalty, but the top 4 were so far ahead, it really didn't make any difference at all. A few shout-outs to Bortoleto, who finished 6th, Alonso, who finished 5th, but sadly, Oliver Bearman did not get his 11th place to continue his streak, and had to retire his car after suffering some rear damage. No F1 for 3 weeks because we're onto our summer break. Enjoy some time off, but that's all for your Hungarian Grand Prix. Too long? Didn't race.